Welcome back to another Disneyland Hotel Diary. Planning a Disney trip is so much fun, but let's be real, picking the right hotel can be super stressful. Today, we're diving deep into a top contender right next to the parks, the Holiday Inn Express and Suites. So let's just get right to it. This hotel isn't just another option on the block. It is ranked #1 out of 126 hotels in Anaheim on TripAdvisor. Now that is a massive claim. So in this explainer, we're going to break down exactly why it's holding on to that top spot.
So here's our game plan. We'll start with why it's even a #1 contender. Then we'll talk about that all-important walk to Disneyland. We'll look at the rooms and its kind of famous breakfast, weigh the perks against the quirks, and then wrap it all up with a final verdict and some pro tips to help you decide if it's right for you.
All right, first up, and for so many of us, this is the only thing that really matters: location. When you're doing a Disney trip, the location can literally make or break your entire vacation. Now, take a look at these numbers. What's so telling here is how incredibly consistent the high ratings are. We're talking almost 700 reviews. But look at what's at the very top of the list. Location, with a whopping 4.8 out of 5. It's clear that guests absolutely love how close this place is to the magic.
So what does a 4.8 rating actually mean? Well, it means you're looking at about a 7 to 13-minute walk to the front gates of the parks. And honestly, this right here is the hotel's biggest superpower. Being able to just stroll back to your room for a midday nap or a quick dip in the pool without ever having to get in a car or wait for a shuttle, that is a total game changer, especially if you have kids.
Okay, so the location is a huge, huge win. But what about once you're actually inside? What are the rooms like? And what is this famous breakfast I keep hearing about? Let's check it out. Reading through review after review, two phrases just keep popping up: spotlessly clean and modern. The rooms have super comfortable beds, blackout curtains, which are absolutely essential for that post-park recovery sleep, and a lot of the suites have a sofa bed, which is just perfect for families. Oh, and you get daily housekeeping, which, is getting kind of rare these days. But here it is. This is the amenity that gets people really, really excited. The most important meal of your entire Disney day is totally free. And we're not talking about just some coffee and a sad pastry. This is a full hot breakfast included with your stay, and that is a massive value that saves families a ton of money and, just as important, a ton of time in the morning. And, the breakfast isn't just about the food, it's about the people. This quote is one of literally dozens that specifically calls out the breakfast staff by name. The names Yadira and Ophelia show up over and over and over again for their amazing service, keeping everything stocked, clean, and just making sure everyone gets their Disney day started off right. Hey, real quick, if you're finding this deep dive helpful for your trip planning, could you do me a quick favor? Go ahead and hit those subscribe and like buttons. It honestly helps us out a ton and lets us make more explainers just like this one. All right, now for the crucial part. Look, no hotel is perfect, and it's so important to know the full story before you book. So let's get real and weigh the hotel's absolute best features against some of its potential drawbacks. So it's really all about understanding the trade-offs, right? On the perk side, you've got that awesome free breakfast, the super friendly service, those modern and clean rooms, the short walk, and a pool and hot tub. But on the quirk side, parking is valet only, and it does come with a daily fee. Some rooms face the freeway, so there's potential for noise. And let's be honest, even a 10-minute walk can feel like a marathon after you've been on your feet for 12 hours straight. Okay, let's bring it all home. We've talked location, we've talked rooms, the good, the not so good. So what's the final verdict? Is this the right hotel for your trip? This hotel is going to be your perfect fit if you find yourself nodding along to these points. If that short walk is your #1 absolute top priority. If a free hearty breakfast is a huge budget saver for your family, if you just want a modern, super reliable, clean place to crash at night, and if you really value friendly, welcoming service. It is an especially great fit for families who can really use the extra space in those suites. So, if you're thinking, yep, this is the one for me, hold on. Before you book, here are a few final pro tips that come directly from past guests to make your stay even better. To handle those quirks we mentioned, here's what your fellow travelers suggest.
First, when you book, just request a room that doesn't face the freeway. It's a really simple ask that can make a huge difference. Also, guests point out that the hotel provides sound machines in the rooms, which is a really thoughtful touch. And finally, do not forget about that hot tub. It is the absolute perfect remedy for what I call Disney feet at the end of a long, long day. So, really, it all comes down to this one question for you to answer. Is a top-rated hotel with that amazing free breakfast worth the trade-offs of a mandatory valet fee and some potential noise? That's the decision. Hopefully, this explainer gave you everything you need to make it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.